Let me ask you a question. Is your site SEO friendly? If yes, how do you know if it is SEO friendly? Huh? Lucky for you, we have a tool that tells you if your site is SEO friendly or not. If you're familiar with our existing SEO analysis tool, it is now called the SEO Analyzer, and there are a few features we've added to it. We are continually improving that tool, so if you have any suggestions after watching this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. We are always listening. But either way, if you don't know what the SEO Analyzer tool is, if this is your first time hearing about it, let's walk through this cool and awesome tool we have prepared for you. Let's go. Hey, it's Jack from Rank Math, the one WordPress SEO plugin that constantly strives to provide you with the fastest and the most cutting-edge SEO tools. And on this channel, we are constantly sharing up-to-date and accurate SEO knowledge. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, consider doing so. Now, first things first, if you don't have a free Rank Math account yet and you are using Rank Math, go get yourself a free Rank Math account because this SEO Analyzer tool requires a connected account. If this is your first time using Rank Math on your site, you should be able to access our setup wizard by clicking on Rank Math. If not, go to Rank Math's dashboard and select the setup wizard. Follow the steps and you should be able to create a free account through the steps. But if you are already using Rank Math for a while and you are not connected yet, usually you will see a notification at the top asking you to activate your account. Alternatively, on the Rank Math's dashboard, go to the Help tab, click on Connect Now, and click on Register Now for a new account. Alright, assuming you have connected your Rank Math account to your site, on your Rank Math's dashboard, what we recommend you do is to select the Advanced mode because there are more SEO Analyzer tests run on your site. The Advanced mode will run 29 tests on your site, while the Easy mode will only run 21 tests. So we recommend that you select the Advanced mode. Now if you don't see the SEO Analyzer item on Rank Math, then you want to search for the SEO Analyzer module and toggle it on. And you shall see it here. As you click on the settings, it will bring you to the tool. Feel free to click on the menu item as it will bring you to the same place. If this is the first time you are using this tool, there's only one button to click and it will analyze your site for SEO. Out of the 29 tests we do, some are specific to your homepage while the others are site-wide. You get to know each of these tests. Now this SEO Analyzer tool is important because it analyzes the foundation of your SEO setup. And if you don't get a high score on this test, it doesn't mean that you won't get ranked on search engines, but it may have a negative impact on your overall site. And as you know, getting ranked on search engines is an intricate process. You want to get more check marks on the foundational level so that your site can flourish. And that's why you need to get this done right, at least from this moment on. So as you can see, your site is scored out of 100 based on 29 tests. If you're seeing 21 tests, you know what to do. If your site scores above 70, it means that your site is SEO friendly. But we gotta strive for better, right? Maybe 90 and above. Now, if your score is below 70, you are screwed. Just kidding. But it means your site is not SEO friendly and you gotta do something about it. Anyway, you'll be able to see all the past tests, which are the check marks you are looking for. We'll go through them in a while. If there are tests marked as warning, it means they are not really severe, but you should give some love and attention to them. As for the failed tests, these are not site-breaking issues. Your site still works, but they are not good from an SEO perspective. So you should give it more love and try to pass them, okay? Then you will see a snippet of how your site will appear on the search results if somebody searches for your homepage or brand. Now you see all these tests are nicely grouped for you. If you want to focus on optimizing the failed tests, just click on it and you will see all the failed tests. The same goes for the others. Cool, right? Now, if you are the SEO guy in your company or agency, we've got something awesome for you. Instead of you doing a Ctrl-P or Command-P to print a report that doesn't really look nice, we have this print button for you available in the Pro version. Once you click on it, you will see a nicely laid out report for you to confidently go into meetings. Alright, we have talked about the UI and all. I'm pretty sure you are interested in this competitor analyzer, but we will get there in a while because we have to talk about all these individual tests first. All the tests are grouped into basic SEO, advanced SEO, performance, which is directly related to core web vitals, and the security of your site. If you have not enabled auto updates, you will have another category called priority that prompts you to enable auto updates. You should do it mostly because of the security issues and also making sure that the site is always up to date with the latest changes in the search guidelines. Anyway, let's talk about the basic SEO tests first. Now, the tests we're going to walk through cover the bare essentials. If you fail any of these tests, then there are serious issues that may hurt your ranking. So these tests are super important, but they are easy to achieve. Don't worry. Anyway, the first test is the common keywords. Now, what you should look out for are keywords that are related to your niche or the purpose of your website. For example, if your website is about barbecue and you are seeing a lot of keywords related to SEO or keywords that are totally irrelevant, then it is time to optimize your homepage. Search engines are looking at these common keywords to understand more about your website, so it just makes sense to have the right keywords detected here. If you have trouble getting the right keywords to be detected, you might want to check out this tutorial we have. The link is in the description. The key is, if RankMath is not detecting the intended focus keywords, even if you have optimized your homepage and you have done all the steps recommended on this page, you can simply ignore this error. Anyway, some of you might be using the default homepage from WordPress, which is the blog row, but honestly, it is hard to control from an SEO perspective, so we recommend that you create a separate page as your homepage. Assuming that I'm using the default blog row from WordPress, I want to go to Pages and add New. Give your page a title. Let's say it is the name of your site. You want to design your homepage to your liking because this is probably the most important page of your site from an SEO perspective. You definitely want to include whatever keywords you think are important to your site. And then you want to publish it. One more step. Go to WordPress. Under Settings and Reading, you will see this Your Homepage displays. You want to select a static page and select the page you have created as the homepage. Save changes. And now your homepage is changed to the page you have just created. And since this change is significant, you want to go to the SEO Analyzer again and restart the test. Are you seeing your desired keywords in the common keywords check? If yes, cool, let's move on. The SEO description checks if the SEO description in your homepage is above 160 characters. If you fail this test, go to your homepage and on RankMaths tab, click on Edit Snippets. And try to keep this description between 50 to 160 characters, and obviously, you want to add a couple of important keywords. You should know what they are. Make sure that you save your page. Next, let's go back to the test. It is looking for your H1 heading, which is the text you add to your homepage. Now, the reason we recommend having a static page as your homepage is also because the SEO Analyzer checks the H2 headings of your homepage. Plus, there are many SEO benefits to it. If it is just a blog row, it is hard to control this, but it is totally up to you. You can utilize the H2 heading text to optimize your homepage for SEO. Don't know how to turn text to headings? Just highlight the text you want as a heading, click on this, and transform it to heading. By default, it will be in H2. Now, the words in your headings are probably going to be picked up in the common keywords test we have just talked about. So it makes sense to optimize your H2 headings. You see, all these H2 heading tags need to make sense to the site you are building. Then, the image alt attributes. Just make sure that all the images on your homepage have an alt tags. If you don't know what it is, go to your homepage, click on an image, click on settings, and you should see the alt tags field here. Make sure that you give a clear description of what this image is about. To ensure that all your images have an alt text and never be flagged by this test, RankMath has a feature that automatically adds missing alt attributes. On your RankMaths dashboard, make sure that the image SEO module is toggled on, then go to its settings, and here, you will have the option to add missing alt attributes to your images automatically. If you toggle this on, the default text that will be added to your alt attribute is the image file name. So before you upload your image to your site, make sure that you optimize the file name of your image. You can also choose either one of these variables if you would like. So choose the one that most suits your workflow. Let's head back to the SEO analyzer. The next test is the keywords in the title and description of your homepage. What this checks is if the common keywords are found in your SEO title and description on your homepage. Hence, it is important to have the right common keywords. Now, similarly, if you fail this test, even if you have placed the right keywords in the title and description, feel free to ignore the result of it. Anyway, the next test is the links ratio. Now, it just makes sense that there are more internal links on your homepage than external links. If there are more external links than internal links, your site might seem unnatural. And if there are too few internal links, it might give an impression to search engines that you don't have a lot of resources on your site. So search engines will trust your website less. So this links ratio test is to help you determine if the ratio between your internal and external links is healthy from an SEO perspective. This is the demo site, so it has very few pages, hence the low internal links count. Next, we have the SEO title test. It checks if your SEO title is too long. Now, the SEO title, by default, if you haven't changed anything, it should be the title you have given to your homepage. But if you want to edit that, feel free to do so. If your homepage is a blog row, which means you have selected your latest post instead of a static page, then under Rank Math's title and meta, select homepage, and you can edit the title and meta description here. Any changes here will help with how your site looks on search results. So I presume the logical title will be your brand, followed by a tagline or a relevant key phrase. Just make sure that it doesn't go above 60 characters. And that's what this test is looking for. And then we have the test for site tagline. Now, WordPress uses the site tagline in a couple of places, usually in the header of each page and in your RSS feed. For example, if you visit the homepage of your site, right at the top at the browser tab, you will usually see the site title followed by the site tagline. By default, if you didn't change anything, WordPress will add just another WordPress site as the tagline. And if you use that, does it look professional to you? And that's why this test checks for that. To change the site's tagline, simply go to Settings and General. And here's where you can change the tagline of your site. Just make sure that it represents your business. Next, the blog public. This is super important. If this is flagged, your site may never appear on search engines. So to solve this problem, go to your WordPress settings, select Reading, and make sure that this search engine visibility option is unchecked. Save changes, run the test again, and you should see this as a passed test. And then we have the permalink structure test to see if the permalink structure of your site is descriptive enough. A good SEO practice is to have a descriptive text in your links. If you fail this test, go to Settings and Permalinks. You see, if you have chosen the plain or the numeric option, it doesn't allow you to add a descriptive text in the permalink structure. So to pass this test, just make sure you have selected the options that comes with the post name. If you want to use a custom structure, make sure that you have the post name variable in there. If you want to know the best permalink structure for your website, you might want to check out this video right here. The link is in the description. Now, let's go to the next test. The next test is the focus keywords test. This is a site-wide test. Now, if you're familiar with Rank Math, whenever you write an article, we will have this focus keyword field for you to optimize your article based on a focus keyword. You can optimize for multiple keywords as well, but the key is a well-written article should only answer to one main topic or keyword. If you don't add any focus keyword in this field, there is no way to know if your article is optimized for the focus keyword. And that's what this test is checking for. It ensures that all your posts and pages have a focus keyword. Now, if you have many existing posts, maybe hundreds or thousands of them, that do not have a focus keyword added to the field, maybe you have published articles way before Rank Math existed, you may want to check out this tutorial where it will automatically insert a focus keyword for you. The link is in the description. Next, the test checks if the focus keywords in your articles are present in the post titles. Now, if you have followed the on-page SEO checks whenever you write an article, you should have no problems with this test. Basically, the test flags pages or posts that do not have the focus keyword in the post title. So any pages that are flagged go do some adjustments to it. That's it for the basic SEO test. What do you think? Is my explanation good enough? If yes, how about a thumbs up for the video, yeah? Now, let's go to the advanced SEO test. Now, the advanced SEO tests are a little more technical. It's more than just keywords placed at the right places. All the tests in this category are there to make sure that every page on your website is easily found by the search engines and there are no complications that prevent your pages from being found. Let's get right into the first test. Now, this is not considered as one of the 29 tests. Just like the common keywords, if you see this blue icon, this is for your information. Anyway, RankMath will take a snapshot of how your homepage looks like on mobile when it loads. In technical terms, anything that appears here is called above the fold. Assuming your actual homepage is not looking the way you want it to be, then it's time to put some focus into designing it. Personally, just to give you a pep talk before we get into the performance part of the SEO analyzer, we usually do not want to see huge images, videos, or any large visuals at the top of the page because those media files will slow down the loading of your page. If you want to add images and stuff, keep it below this part of the page, or in technical terms, below the fold. This is just my preference from a page speed perspective. If you think an image is important at the top, so be it. Next, we have the canonical tag test. Now, I won't go into details of what canonical tags are, otherwise this video is going to be very long. But if you want to know what it is, we do have an explanation for you in another video. We have left the link in the description. You can go check it out. But in general terms, if there are similar pages on your website, the canonical tag will tell search engines which is the page they should crawl because they won't crawl duplicated pages. Anyway, if your homepage is flagged by this test, all you need to do is to go to your homepage, open up RankMaths tab, select the Advanced tab, and here you can add the canonical URL telling search engines this is the link to your homepage. Next, we have the www canonicalization test. So for example, if your website has a www.domain.com and another version of it which is just the domain, then this test makes sure that there is only one version of it found. It can be the www version redirected to just the domain version, or vice versa. The key is just to have one version of your website, otherwise it will have a negative impact on your overall SEO. If your site is flagged with this issue, there are two ways to solve this. Number one is, you can watch our video right here to learn about redirections, link is in the description. Basically, you have to add some codes to your htaccess file. Number two is, you can simply contact your hosting provider to help you with it. Alright, back to the SEO analyzer. The next test is the Open Graph Meta test. An Open Graph Meta is a markup placed on every page of your website so that social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter can read and understand your page. And they can also display your page nicely on their platform. If your site is flagged with this, all you need to do is to visit your homepage, open up RankMaths tab, and select the Social tab. This is where you can add an image. Here's the recommended image size. Add a title. You see, by default, your page title is added, or you can totally use the other variables as well. And then you want to add a description so that it will appear nicely when somebody shares your domain on social media. You can do the same for Twitter as well. As you update the page, retest the page for SEO again, and you should see a pass on this test. Next, we have the robots.txt test. Robots.txt is a special file present at the root level of your web server. This test checks if your site has a robots.txt file present, and it will notify you if the test finds a disallowed tag in the file as a warning. If you want to know the full extent of what you can do with your robots.txt file, we have a video right here that talks about it. And honestly, if you are using RankMath, it is almost impossible for you to fail this test because by default, we place a simple robots.txt file on your server if it does not find one. Next, we have the schema metadata test. If you have been following our channel for a while, you know that we are always high on schema. We have the FAQ schema, the review rating schema, the podcast schema, the pros and cons schema, and many others. So if you have the time, please do check those videos out on our channel. Schema is basically a language for your web page to communicate with the search engines, telling them what your page is about. So don't you think this is important? Anyway, what this test does is it will check if your homepage has schema data on it. If you fail this test, all you need to do is to head over to RankMath's titles and meta. And since your homepage is a page, let's select the page's post type. And on a schema type, you want to make sure that either one of these schema type is selected for your default pages. But make sure that the schema type you choose is relevant to your post type. In most cases, it is going to be an article. For best practice, you want to add a relevant schema type to all your other post types as well. Next, we have the Search Console test. And it is simply a check to see if your site is connected to your Search Console through RankMath. If you have gone through the process we have mentioned earlier about creating a free RankMath account and you have simply logged into one of your Google accounts, you should have passed this test. If not, feel free to check out this link to connect your site to the Google Search Console through RankMath. And finally, for the sitemaps test, it is checking if your site has a sitemap, which is like an index of your website that helps search engines discover your pages and links more efficiently. If you're using RankMath, I see no reason for you to fail on this test. All you have to do is to make sure that at your RankMath's dashboard, you want to look for the sitemaps module and make sure that it is toggled on. Click on the settings, and here is the link to your sitemap. Again, if you want to learn more about all the sitemaps we offer and how it will work well on your site, the link is in the description. That's basically all the advanced SEO tests. Let's head over to the performance test. Now, all these tests, like for example, the minified CSS, JavaScript, ensuring that the page objects and page size isn't excessive, and response time are all related to page speed, and improving page speed of your site is a huge topic on its own, and that's why we have created an entirely separate video to help you understand and implement the right elements to improve your page speed. You can check out the video right here. It's a very interesting video to watch, so feel free to check it out. The link is in the description. But one thing I want to cover is this image header expire. You see, expire headers are used to instruct a web browser on whether a particular resource on a website should be requested from the server again, or it can be retrieved from the browser's cache. What the test is looking for is an expired header for images. So if it is present whenever somebody visits your webpage, their browsers will store a copy of the images of your site. And when that person visits your site again, those images will be displayed on the browser through the cache storage, and this speeds up the page load time because the browser do not need to connect with your server again. However, if the expires headers has expired, it will instruct the browser to fetch the images again from the server and display them, after which the newly fetched images will be stored on the browser's cache for a set period of time again. So if you fail this test, there are several ways to add expire headers on your images. Number one is to add lines of codes like this to your .htaccess file, which we don't recommend for beginners. The second way is to install a plugin like Add Expires Headers on your site, which is an easier way to solve the problem. But if you don't like to add single-use plugins on your site, then the third method is to contact your web hosting provider and request for their help, so you won't mess up as a beginner. That's basically it for the performance test. As I said earlier, if you want to learn more about how to optimize your website for page speed, you should check out our video in the description. Now, let's go to the final group of tests before we talk about the competitor analyzer. Now, it is obvious that hackers and other malicious users will always find opportunities to hack your site. And if any plugins or themes are publicly visible, just imagine if one of those exposed plugins becomes vulnerable. Hackers will exploit this vulnerability, which poses a huge security risk. So these two checks here will let you know if any themes or plugins are publicly visible. And if you want to hide your themes and plugins information, you can consider installing a WordPress plugin like Hide My WP Ghost. Next, we have the directory listing test. Just like the themes and plugins being exposed, the files and folders of your website can be publicly visible as well, which is even worse than these. We highly recommend that you contact your web hosting provider to get this solved immediately. And finally, we have the secure connection test, which is to check if your site is using a HTTPS protocol connection. This is a requirement nowadays by search engines before your site gets ranked. Getting a HTTPS connection for your site should be a free service provided by your web hosting provider. So if you have failed this test, make sure that you contact your web host to get this solved. Alright, now that we have covered all the tests available in our SEO analyzer, it makes my explanation of the competitor analyzer so much easier. Let's go check that out now. Now, the competitor analyzer. It allows you to analyze any URLs of a live page to know if they are SEO friendly. This is a feature for RankMath Pro users. Don't worry if you are a free user, I'll let you know how you can leverage on this too. Now, how do you use this competitor analyzer? Let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to compete with one of RankMath's blog posts on the topic how to install Google Tag Manager. So you place your competitor's link here, start audits, and now you will know how RankMath's page performed in terms of SEO. Not too bad, it is getting an 86 score based on 21 tests. It is not the 29 tests you saw because those remaining tests require access to the site's database. And in the competitor analyzer, we don't have the access to those information. Anyway, these 21 tests are pretty familiar, right? But out of all these tests, which is actually helpful to you? I'm pretty sure you're not going to bring this information to RankMath and tell us, hey, you've got 3 failed tests. You're not selling us a service, right? So how do these tests help you? Let me give you an idea. You see, from our basic SEO tests, we have the common keywords test. Take a moment and think, are these keywords here helpful for the article you are about to write? I'm pretty sure it will help. Now, what about the H2 headings? Does it give you a content structure telling you what you are supposed to write for the topic? Pretty sure, right? I think these are the 2 very helpful tests for you to write an article that competes with your competitor. And if you couple the results from the competitor analyzer with our content AI, your article will not only be SEO friendly, but it will also have a high probability of beating your competitors on search engines because your article is now backed by data. If you want to learn more about how to use our content AI tool to optimize your articles for ranking, check out this video right here. The link is in the description. So is the competitor analyzer helpful to you? Do you have any suggestions for improvement? Let us know in the comments. And if you haven't smashed that thumbs up button yet, please do help, come on. Alright, the final question is, what if you don't have RankMath Pro? You can't access the tool directly from your site. How can you utilize the competitor analyzer tool? Well, we have made this tool publicly available to you for free on this link. Just place any URL here and you will get the same information. The difference between free and pro users, at least for this tool, is that for pro users, you do not need to memorize the link to this tool because you have that directly on your site. And don't get me wrong, pro users have a lot more advantages than free users. I'm pretty sure pro users know. And to justify that, we have a video that compares the free version versus the pro version in the description. So I hope this video and the tool is useful to you and maybe you have learned something new from this video. Is it possible if you can give us a thumbs up if you haven't done so? Anyway, this is Jack from RankMath and we are constantly sharing the most accurate and up-to-date SEO knowledge on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed to us yet, consider doing so. Stay awesome and I'll see you in the next video.